Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. I can see there's a few people jumped on here already. Hopefully I'm gone live and everybody can hear me. Just waiting for it to see if it comes up. Okay. So first one on tonight was Viejo. Walter's here. Bamba Dad's here. Gene reloading from the hot pot. Bobby Barlow's here. Billy F has joined us. You guys. Cool. Hope everybody's doing well. I can feel the temperatures here have dropped quite a bit. It's pretty cold here and quite cold in the house. With you might even have to put heating on in here before long. It's getting quite chilly here. So tonight we're going to do a similar to what we've done before. But, we're going to do a caliber changeover on the Dillon 650, but this time it's going to be 44 mag pistol over to 30 odd 6 rifle. There's a few little differences we have to do. I started a series on the 30 odd 6. I posted one yesterday, the first in the series. So this is just going to be a follow on to it, and the second video is pretty much going to be what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to do the setup on the 650, change it all back to 44 mag tomorrow, actually do a video and drop a video for series 2. So that's what we got planned for tonight. Dale Pogue has joined us. Good to see you, Dale. Rich B is with us. Dwayne 7834 has joined us. Good to see you all, guys. So Rich B is on. We did our 800 sub draw. I think I did it on Sunday. Rich B actually won the knife. To go with that. So congratulations, Rich. I'm going to get that sent out to you. And I actually did a second draw for a Mac Tools beanie hat and some stickers and screwdrivers. And Garage Guy won that one. So congratulations to both those. They did they won in my 800 sub. And I can see I'm already up to 856 today, growing all the time. My next big one is going to be the 1,000. That's going to be the big milestone to hit the 1,000 subs. And I'll find some really nice prizes to give away that night. Maybe get some people on the panel, and we'll do a little panel show that night. Once I hit the 1,000 subs, and we do the giveaway on the night, maybe. If that's what you want to do, guys, we can do that. So I dropped some video. Like I said, I dropped the 30-06 part 1 video. I dropped the draw video on Sunday. I think there's other videos I dropped as well. I can't remember what else I did. There's a few. I think I did a few over the weekend. Let me have a look. Yeah, so I dropped the 30-06 part 1. We did the 38 special, kind of 38, just a quick short video on the road. It's 38 650. Obviously, the duck hunting video, I dropped that one. Did a great time. Only had 3 ducks, and only 3 ducks flew in. So 3 flew in, and we bagged them all. So there was 4 videos dropped over the weekend, and I got quite a few in the pipeline. I've started doing the videos for the Trigger Pull Thursday, and a lot of you guys are doing that already. So I've started doing some Trigger Pull Thursday videos. So I got them lined up. I've done 5 or 6 already, and I've got them lined up to drop over the next 5 or 6 weeks. And we've got that coming up. Michael Dunn has joined us. Dwayne 7834. Edward Petty, James Pollard. Good to see you guys. Nothing yet, James. We're just starting. We're just talking about some of the videos I dropped over the weekend and the prize winners for my 800 sub giveaway. So we haven't got into it yet. So tonight, guys, is going to be hashtag Mac34 to get in the draw. And I got a few stickers. Channel sticker, FN sticker, one of the Republic ammunition stickers I had from Gene. You got one of those to give away. Got my pens and my screwdrivers that I started giving away now, the little flathead screwdrivers, the magnet top. And I've got one of the little pocket knives that everybody seems to like, the little out the front, just a little pocket knife, double-edged blade on it, spring assisted, in and out the front, got a little logo on it. So these are quite popular, so I'm going to give one of them away again tonight. So so just get in there, guys. Hashtag Mac34. That'll get you a the draw for tonight. Hillbilly up is with us. Good to see you, Hillbilly. Go back a bit. There's a few more people jumped on. Shane Boyle is with us. Dale Poe. Gene from Reloading from the Hot Pod is with us. James Pollard is there. Good Tactical Fad. Good to see you guys. With everybody. Mark Thomas who joined us. Good to see you, Mark. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so I'm going to move the camera and we can start doing the caliper changeover. Raise it away a little bit. Do the caliper changeover on the 650. Do the setup on it as well to get these 30-odd 6 rounds done. Okay, trying to get everything here. So at the moment it is set up for 44 mag, which we did a stream on the 44 mag, I think a week or so ago or a couple of weeks ago. So tonight we're going to be doing the conversion where we're going to get rid of all the 44 mag stuff. We're going to load up, put the 30-odd 6 conversion on, the dies. We get them all set up and we run through, and I'll show you how I do my setup with the powders and everything. Tonight we're going to be using mixed brass, which has already been prepped. So I dropped first in the series, getting the brass ready. So this has been deprimed. You can see all the pockets have been, primer pockets have been cleaned and uniformed. They've been sized. I've checked the length, and they've been trimmed, chamfered and deburred. So everything's been done. So tonight we're not going to be doing a full, just for YouTube, we're not going to be doing a full loading of a case. We've done a lot of the work on a different video tonight. We're just going to be doing the setup and the end part of it. Hopefully that'll stay within the guidelines for the YouTube. So like I said, a lot of the work's already been done on a previous video, and tonight then we're going to be doing just the end part of it. So it's going to be mixed brass, guys. I'm going to be using some IMR 4831. The powder we're going to be using. I've got Federal 210 large primers. Those are the primers we're going to be using. And I picked up from my local gun store some of these. It's a Midway USA box, but it says on it Hornady Z-Max bullets, 308, 160 grain, flexible tip boat tail. So I haven't seen these before. I found some data on them. So that's what we're going to be using tonight, is these bullets. So I picked these up. I only paid $30 for 100 of them, and they were somebody who's selling all their reloading stuff off. So I just picked them up. So those are the bullets we're going to be using. Got the Eddie Wilson case ready, so you can check them. And what he was calling for with the IMR 4831, 54 to 60 grains. So there's a wide range that we can cover, but once you get over 57 grains, it starts compressing the load. I never do compress loads. That's just something I know a lot of people do, and they're probably quite safe, but I won't do any compressed loads. I'm just going to keep them low, and I'm just going to go for 54 grains starting. That's what I've used before with this powder. They group well, they fire well, and it's right at the bottom end of the scale. So it's going to be 54 grains of the IMR. And the overall length we're going to go for tonight is 3.210. So we can get that all set up. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. Petty is there. I said hi to James. I think we're back up to date. Okay. So what I like to do, I've shown you before, I get the both caliper boxes out. So I open the one up that's coming out. So the 44 mag is going to be coming out. And obviously we're going to be setting it up with the 30 odd 6. So pop the pins out. Remove the light. So the tool head comes straight out. We can remove the tool head all in one go. That's all done. Bring the head up. Loosen the lock screw so we can take out the center bolt to change the shell plate. So try not to block with my arm. So take the bolt out. Remove the little spring, and then the shell plate can come straight out, and that goes into the box. The shell plate, the little locating pins, we get the 3 pins. We pull them out, drop them in the box. The little aluminum slider for the shells to slide in. We pull that out, that goes in the box. Remove the tube from the case feeder, and then we want to take out the case feeder adapters. Both of those came out, and we need to take out the little aluminum case guide. It's just up in here in the back. Get that started. Okay, we just drop that out and screw that, and that comes out, and that's pretty much everything taken off for 44 mag. And when we're at this stage, I normally take off the primer tube. Take the whole primer tube off, clean that, like I showed you in an earlier streaming video. But I didn't make a lot of 44 mag, probably only 100, 150 of them. So it's not, hasn't picked up much dirt. So all we're going to do is just go around and wipe and where the shell plate goes. Make sure you don't knock the ball or the tabs out. A little bit of compressed air. All off. And that's pretty much ready to go for the reassembly. Like I said, I'm not going to take the primer tube off this one. It's still pretty clean, and it's rotating. There's no powder going underneath it. It's rotated nice, so we don't need to do that. So the 44 mag, all done. Can be put away, and then we'll start with the 30 odd 6. So I grab the feeder, which is the feeder that just the brass just falls through. We always change that out. Go back in. It's basically following the steps that you took. Disassemble everything. And again, these don't need much. They just need just a little touch. So I put a little hex key through them and just nip them up. They don't need much. And then this is completely different style to the normal ones. Instead of just having the cup at the bottom, it's got this extension piece that comes up to help guide the brass cases in. So I'm just going to wipe that down, and that just sits. That just goes in and sits. You can see that just sits in there. Case feeder adapter go on top. We can then replace the tube. You want to twist that and make sure it goes all the way up, contact in the case feeder, so it's just pushed all the way up. I've already changed the case feeder plate. We've taken the large pistol out and it's been replaced with a large rifle. So that's already been done in the case feeder. Just giving everything just a little wipe down as we're going through it. Just a little bit of dirt on them so we can drop the aluminum. Guide in there. Then the shell plate. You can then replace the little spring clip. Just sits there, and then the bolt can go back down. So I wind this down by hand till it goes tight, and then turn it back a couple of eighths, and then we can just lift up the lock bolt underneath. Again, doesn't have to be super tight, just snugged up, and then bring it down slowly to make sure it's rotating. It hasn't gone too tight. If this bolt goes too tight, this shell plate really drags. You can see there that one's moved, not dragging. Everything's working perfectly. Bring it up, and a little bit of oil onto the ram, both sides, and then just work that just a couple of times. Loosens it up, and it moves a lot easier. So just get the pins, the little brass pins, locator pins, pop those in. Then the box is empty. So the whole assembly is done for the caliber change bottom end. Done case feeder tube and everything, that's all been done, everything down. We can just grab the tool head, slots in, and if you can see, let's just bring this up. This is one of the old style powder measures. So instead of having that second plate on the side, see the setup here with the safety bar and everything. It's got this second plate here, and all this setup. This is the newer style. This one hasn't got it. It's just got the one, and we have to run springs on it up here to pull the bar back. And to be honest with you, I much prefer this setup. I really like this setup. It just seems to move better. If you can find these on eBay or somewhere, I'd highly recommend you buy some of these. I much prefer the old style to the new ones. And if these go down and you take the thing to be fixed, Dillon just replaces it with the new style, which is a shame because this, I believe myself, is a far better system. So before we tighten it all down, I just like to get a piece of brass. Just going to pop it in there, bring it up through the die, and watch the bar. And once the bar goes all the way to the end, my arm is all the way down. Let's see if I can get both these in the shot. Not really, no. So the arm is all the way down, and the bar's all the way in, and it's not put in anymore. So the adjustment on this is not trying to squeeze the shell, the case, or anything. It's just working it, and it's perfectly set up. So when the handle hits the bottom, the case isn't crushing or anything, and the full powder measure has gone all the way through, dropped the full powder measure. So that's set up perfect. Then use the rod, drop it in, and push it forward. You can see I can't go all the way forward because the spring is bottoming out. So I want to wind this out a little bit so I can get this to. Okay, so it's going all the way in to set the primer, but the spring is only just coiling up. It's just enough. You can work that. You can see it's going around. It's going around like that. So that's all set up. And one other thing we need to change is in the back here, the slide or where the brass cases slide down. This needs to be rotated round because at the moment it's set up for pistol. So we need to rotate it round for rifle. So it's just a matter of undoing the screw here. This comes off. And as you can see, there's definitely two sides. This long side is for pistol. And the shorter step side, straight down, is rifle. So it came off this way. We're going to turn it around and drop it in this way for rifles. So it can be dropped back in. Start the little bolt by hand because there's only a little small piece of helicoil in there. And what you want to do is you want to get your thumb. You can see this part here, the bottom part. You want to get your thumb on there and push it backwards. And then with your finger, you want to try this piece moves, slides in and out. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get it all the way forward. So I push it in with my thumb to move it back, slide this adapter, or whatever you want to call it, forward, and then you can tighten it back up. You need it to the full forward position, otherwise it doesn't locate some of the shells sometimes. So and it can move backwards because it's only a little bit of thread inside the plastic, and sometimes this piece can move back, and when you set in everything, it's not pushing the case all the way into the shell plate. So that's how you get around that problem, making sure that's all the way forward. Just a little nip up on the side bolt, and there you go. That is all working. Okay, that's pretty much it, guys. It's set up, ready to go. The whole conversion is done. Didn't take too long, and all clean, set up, ready to go. It's just about setting the dies and getting everything else ready. Let me just check the comments. Doug Thomas has joined us. Good to see you, Doug. Gizzard Gary's with us. Good Five has joined us. I think I said hi to Michael Dunn, James Pollard. James Pollard said it's not much different than the 550. Very similar. A lot of things cross over. Michael Dunn says, I have a question for the Dillon people. Are every Dillon the same with some differences? No, they're all different. They're all different. I believe. I'm trying to think now. The 550, which is the one below, Walter had one. I'm not sure. Is that auto indexing as it goes round, Walter, or is it you have to move that round with your thumb? And I believe you can't load rifle cartridges on 550. I believe. I don't think the case feeder and all works on a 550 for rifle cartridges. I think that's one of the differences. And the 650 to 750 are very similar. We just changed the priming system on the 750s, which personally I don't like. I prefer the old system, the 650. So I tell a few people, if you're going to go out and you're thinking of buying a used and you can't decide between a 650 and a 750, I would say go for a 650. Walter says the 550 is manual indexing. So the little finger being on top of the plate, and you have to turn it by hand. That's the difference. And then like I said, 650 and 750. I don't like the setup, the way the whole priming setup is done on it on the 750s. And I said, like I said before, I spoke to one of the guys who actually works at Dillon, and I was going to upgrade my 650s to the 750, and he turned around and said, "No, them as they are." The 650 is the better system. The 750 is safer. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get away from a primer going off and exploding all the way up through the primer tube, which has happened a few times with 650. I think that's why they've changed the system to make it safer that side of it. But I still prefer the 650s, guys. Okay. So all the caliber is everything is done there. So what I like to do first is, before loading everything up, I'm just going to get one piece of brass and one primer. I like to drop the primer in by hand. Set the primer. So the primer is nice and deep and set in there. And then we're going to weigh this piece of brass. I'm going to zero it out on the scales. That can go in. And then we can put some powder in. I just dropped 3/4 of a pound of powder in there. And then I'm going to start to cycle it through. And then we've dumped the first two, so it gives it time to sort of steady itself. I recheck the brass to make sure it's back at zero. Pop it in. And then we'll take the measurement on that one. We'll weigh that one. I can drop it onto the scales. And we're coming out at 39.5. Move this in. Get this. So we're at 39.5 on the powder charge, and we're going to be looking for 54 grains. So what we're going to do, we can come back out. Okay. And then the adjusting screw on the back here is where we adjust for the amount of powder. And to increase, we turn it down. So we can turn this quite a bit to start with, because it's going to need quite a bit more powder. So turn that probably a turn and a half, a full turn and a half. And then going to empty the powder back out, and then you go in and you cycle it. You want to cycle it again, probably twice. Once would probably be enough, but I like to do it twice to make sure that it's settled. Recheck the zero of the case. Pop it in. And we can weigh that. You can see there now we're at 44.96. So we've still got quite a bit to go. So again, just adjust this on the back. Probably another turn and a half. And then I can go in and cycle it again. Make sure the case is zeroed. And then we can drop the powder. Now I'm at 50.26. going to go a little bit more. Okay, so hopefully we're going to be pretty close this time. I think there's a bit of powder left in there. That. There we go. 51.76. So we're closing in on it. It's just something you've got to walk it out. You don't want to be going too far. Just keep on checking it, walking it out. You're going to hit where you want to be. 54.5. I'm going to take it back just a little bit. So we're very close to where we need to be. So the case is at 0. We cycled it twice. And there we can see you're at 53.96. So super close to where we want to be. So it's just a tiny turn and it'll be fine. And there we go. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, if I can get this. So this now, let me see if I can get the flash. So trying to catch this, you can see the powder in there, just about. And you can see it's way down off the neck. We're not going to be compressing that at all. At 54 grains, it's not coming up to anywhere near a compressed load. So that's where I like to be with the powder. I don't like to compress loads, and I just find it. I just feel better doing it. So if we're using a different bullet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the die and take it up just a touch. Get one of the projectiles, sit it in there. And with the bow tail, it'll just sit there. We can bring that up slowly into the die and start to see. And you can see we're way down off the little cannula grooves. So you can take this down a little bit more, seat it a little bit deeper, and pull it out, and I'm going to just do a measurement. We're looking for an overall of 3.210. I'm at 3. Where are we here? Just double check these figures, guys. this bullet, quantity book, we're looking at 3.185 on some of them, 55 grain. And just double checking the lengths of these guys before I go any further. 3.210. 210. So going by 3.210, what they're calling for. Zoom out on it. At 3.210, what they're calling for, this bullet is way too short. And if I brought it down into here, it's probably going to be down at a length of down in the threes. So I don't think that's going to work with this 30-odd six. You see, I've got a 168 grain hollow point match Hornady bullet. I'm going to try one of those. I haven't used that actual particular bullet before, and I didn't like it just seems too short for this. Let me set this. So we're using this bullet, we're down at 3.3, so we can go a little bit down on that one. .271, down a little bit more. And again, we can just walk these down a little bit at a time until you get the right length that you're happy with. 238. So this one's sitting at 3.220. 68 grain, 3.220. So going by the Hornady book, they're calling for 3.220. We're setting that at now. So I'm going to bring the die back into the die, and I'm just going to tighten up the lock nut. Again, doesn't need to be super tight, just needs to be snugged up. So you can see there the difference. So that bullet is sitting nicer down inside that case where it should be. You can see this one is going to be way too short. So it's going to be a quick change. We're not going to be using that one. We're going to go on this one. And I'm going to double check what it says for powder on the 168. 168 with 4831 is asking for a starting weight of 54.5 up to 6.6. And we're at 54. So we just need to go a little bit more. We need to go another half a grain to cover the different bullet we're using. So it was quite interesting that bullet, that one we've got there, is not going to work. I'm going to pull that other one. So obviously that shorter 160 grain is not going to work for us. So we can go back and do a quick powder change, because we obviously got to add half a grain of powder. So I'm going to put it fresh, case in it, reset the primer. I'm going to turn screw just a touch, zero the case on the scales. Again, cycle this twice to stabilize the powder. And then the third one we can do the 5.3. So it's 55.3, and it's calling for 54.5 to 60. Vary from that one. Gone a little bit too far, so I'm just going to take it back. And then wet. It was calling for 54.5 as a starting load, and it's come up to 54.8. So it's just a touch over, but I'm good with that. We're still well underneath the maximum of 60 grains, and we're above, a little bit above what they're saying for minimum. So we're happy with the powder again, have to change it for the different caliber, the different bullet. So I can pop that back in, I'm happy with that. I'm going to get another one of those bullets. 168 match bullets. We're going to seat one. Get my calipers. And we're at 3.210. That one came out at 3.210, which is almost right where we want to be. So there's that. And then the last stage is going to be just simply put in a small crimp on it. If it was for just me to use to go out precision shooting, this is where I'd stop. I wouldn't put any crimp on it at all, because we're going to be taking some friends out where you're just going to be plinking with this. I'm going to put a small amount of crimp on it. Hopefully you can see that it's just crimped the top just a little bit. I don't want to go any further than that because there's no actual groove or canyon. These bullets are smooth. There's nothing for them to step into. So there's a nice enough crimp on that to hold that. And then we can drop it into the case gauge. Let's see if I catch that just right. So we're below the top mark. When you're rubbing your finger across like that, we're below the top mark. But when you slide it the other way, we're above the bottom mark. So that's fitting perfectly. And that, you can see it's just dropping in and dropping out. So those two other cases I want to put aside. So obviously we're going to I'm going to pull them because I'm not happy with those smaller bullets. They're not going to work for this round. And the powder was a little bit low in the first one we did. Let me just go back through the comments guys quickly. See if I haven't missed anybody. Okay, everybody's talking about moles and things. It's Michael Dunn. I said, hey, Michael Dunn. I think I said hi to Gizzard Gary. He's joined us. Mark's trapping and outdoors is with us. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. You guys talk about primers. Primers are still at Shields for $69. The 15% has dropped away. So at the moment we're just $69 for 1,000. And if you don't have to order them, you just go and pick them up. There's no hazmat or delivery, so they're still fairly cheap. That's what I'm picking mine up at the moment. Gun website's joined us. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so now we've seen, we've gone through, we've set the caliber change. The dies are set up. They're all down nice and tight. We've got the right length where we want to be. There's a nice crimp on it, so we don't need to do any more of the crimp. The powder's all set up. So it's just a matter of going around and just making sure everything's tight on the top end. You just nip these little screws up just so it holds it square and tight. We've done everything else. The little light can go back in so we can see. Okay, and now mixed brass. So just drop that into the case feeder. Switch that on and that'll start rotating around. A few pieces in there. So we've already done the powder. So the next thing we can do, we can fill up the primer tube. So I've already picked up the primers here. You all know how these tubes work without picking them up manually. We can just drop that onto the top of the primer tube, pull the pin out, drops all the primers. Check the warning is working, put the bar back in. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cycle the machine to bring the brass down. Bring this down. So the first piece comes down. We haven't got a sizing die in here because, like I said earlier on, I sized, I deprimed, uniformed the pockets, cleaned the pockets, sized, checked, and trimmed, deburred, and everything on an earlier video. So if you want to go back and see me doing that, that's on the video I dropped yesterday. But just for YouTube guidelines, we're not going to go through the whole process. We did this on a separate process. So nearly 55%, maybe 60% of the work has already been done on a different video. So all we're doing is the finishing touches on this. So like I said, the first one comes down. No sides and dies. It's just going to go into an empty space. Comes into the second space. So all I want to do now is remove it and manually cycle the primer arm, the primers into position, which they now are into position. Replace the case, push forward, sets the primer, and then brings it around to the first setting. There's nothing in the second one. Set the primer in the next case. Cycle it around nice and slow. Set the primer. Set the 168 grain hollow point. seats it, comes round, rotates, set the primer. I left the pin out over there. It almost fell out. Pin set in there. So we set the primer, drop the bullet in the next one, bring it up. So on that stroke, it's crimping the last one, seating the bullet. This one's empty and dropped in powder. Always finish off the stroke with a pushing it forward to set the primer. So there's straight into the case gauge. Just wants to fall in and out, no problem. You can see it's just perfect. Primer set just below the surface, you can see that. And there you go. Nice little, just a small crimp on it and the completed case. 30-06. Job done. So now we've gone through and everything is all set, all done. So we can just start the process where we're nice and slow. You don't want to go too fast with it because these cases flop around a little bit. They are long cases. Just nice and slow. Nice and slow to set the primer. And there you go. So that's a full caliper change. Full caliper change. Tool head change. Die setter. And then we just keep going through. Just keep on going through and doing as many as you want. And there you go, guys. That's the basically the caliper change and setup for 30-06. I will be doing this all again on a video because this is going to be part of the series I'm doing on 30-06. I dropped the first video last night. So I just wanted to do the live stream on this tonight. And I'm going to change that back to 44 mag probably tomorrow night and do what I've done tonight. But it's going to go out on a video rather than a live stream. It's going to go out on a video. So Michael Dunn says, I usually take one bullet to kill a deer, so reloading one cartridge is so easy. That's good if you can do that. That's great. Edward Petty, thank you. Hillbilly. Great job, Mark. That saves some money. Demo. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. Like I said, I love doing this. I love spending time out here and doing this. Elliot's joined us from the Patriot Nation. Good to see you, Elliot. Just going to go back to see if there's anybody else. So if you guys want to start hashtag Mac34, that's going to get you in the draw tonight. And I'll run through now and I'll show you again what we're going to give away. So as normal, I just got some stickers to start with. I got the channel sticker. I got a little FN sticker. And thanks to Gene from Reloading a Hot Pot, we got one of the Republic ammunition stickers. A few little stickers there. Little pens we do with my name and phone number on them. Pocket screwdrivers, magnet on the top, little pocket clip, little fast screwdriver. We seem to love these. I'm just going to keep on giving these out. Give away. And the little pocket knife, guys. Got the logo on it. See the little logo on it, a little skull or something on it. And it's just a little out front spring-assisted knife. Just put it forward. It is a little twin-edged blade. So there you go. So everybody want to get in with the hashtag Mac34. I'll give you a couple more minutes and we'll go ahead and do that. GGW has joined us. Good to see you. Thomas is there. outdoors. James says, my wife has taken over 50 deer with a single shot 44 mag rifle. That's great. That's a lot of deer. That's a lot of deer. Just having a quick look, see if there's any more questions in there before we go on. So I've got, let's see how many are on here. 27 looks like watching and 16 entries. I don't know if any of you other guys want to jump on, hashtag Mac34. And then we'll go ahead and do the draw now in a couple of minutes. So it's quite interesting that tonight that I was, like I said, I was going to go ahead and use these little bullets that I picked up, and they were just way too short. Just the setup of them is just trying to hold them up against the other 168 grain I got. You can see, look at the difference in the length there of the bullet. Quite a bit of difference in length. So I'll probably have to use these in, I might use these in a 300 blackout. I put them in a 300 blackout. They'll probably work fine in that. They're no good in the 30-odd sticks. So we're just going to be loading up these 168 grain hollow point. These are actually match grade Hornady bullets. They're really nice bullets. And so I load them up in that. It was interesting to see that they wouldn't work. And it's great to see how things don't always work when you're going to do one of these streams. It's great that these new guys out there can see that it's not always, it doesn't always go to plan. You get something thinking in your head that you want to go ahead. If you start doing it on the press or something, it doesn't work. And it's good to adapt as you're doing them. Michael Dunn, anyone knows how good are those second pulled bullets from Midway USA? I have bought thousands over the years of pulled bullets. 223 I bought a lot of, and I bought 308 as well. And I'll be honest with you, I've never had any issues with them. Some of them are a little bit more marked than others. You can see a little groove or anything in them, but it doesn't affect how they work. And yeah, I wouldn't have any problem. I didn't even know they had a good price, Michael. I need to go in and have a look because I could do with buying some 223, 308 at the moment. They're at a decent price. There you go. Hi to you. James says I use the Midway seconds all the time. They shoot great. Elliot says they're good for bang bang and hunting. I would probably go through them. Hi, Andy. Andy, 79Z28 has just jumped in. Thanks for joining us. So, yeah, I probably, if I was buying batches of, say, 308 or 7 mil or something, I'd probably put them into weight groups because it might be different weights. So I might put them into groups for weight if I was going to use them for my precision stuff, for my long range stuff. But for plinking, you wouldn't have any problems. Okay, let's go in and share the screen then, guys, and do this little draw. We're up to an hour. Share screen. StreamYard. Giveaway tool. Okay, so that's set up. So we've got 17 entries, guys. We're going to spin this up and see who wins these little prizes tonight. Good luck, everyone. Mark Thomas. Congratulations, Mark. You've got that stuff coming out too. Let me see if I got your details here. My address book. I don't see them here, so let me put my email up for you. You go, Mark. There's my email. If you want to go ahead and send through your contact details, I can get them packed up might have your address. Something might be in a different book, but I can't see it at the moment. Congratulations, Mark. That's great. So there's my email up on the screen. Just send me the contact details, and I'll get them all sent out to you. Info Brothers. Hi, Info Brothers. I don't know if I missed you earlier, but thanks for joining us. Doug Thomas. Hi there. I don't know if I can hi to you. So there you go, guys. Just like a little caliber changeover and set up on the 650 for 30-06. I don't often load 30-06, but we're going out with a couple of rifles, and a couple of my neighbours have got 30-06 rifles. So we're going to go out and we're going to shoot them. It's cheaper for them to use these to drink around with than going out, because I know some of these rounds can be expensive. So I'm probably going to make up 100, 150 rounds. Use up this last bit of powder I've got, and then I'll take that advice and go and have some fun over the weekend. And we'll go out and we'll have a play about with them. Like I said, I was hoping to use those Midway little bullets, because I bought them for doing this, but obviously they were just too short, they're not going to work. But these 168 grain, I've shot them through the 30-06 before, and they've had no issues with them. So yeah, we'll have a good time. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that. Dandy thing. Square deal B back together. Discovered I have the wrong pins. Have to order new ones and a few other things. Yeah, I'm lucky with me, Andy. I can just jump in the car and drive straight up to Dillon. They're about 40-minute drive up in Scotland. So I need to get up there because I broke and bent some pins from some dies when I was doing the sizing and depriming some of this 30-06. I broke a couple of pins, so I need to go up and get some warranties done as well. So it's nice. I don't have to worry about ordering. I can just drive up there and pick everything up. It's great that they're just up the road from me. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you, Mark. I can see you sent that email. I'll check on that later. I don't bring it up now because the camera's on it, but I will do that. I'll get those packed up and sent out to you. That's right. Yeah. Okay, there you go. So there you go, guys. Thank you all for joining me. It's been another good show. I really enjoy doing these shows, and I'm glad we had issues. We had problems, and it's good to see problems and work them out while you're on the stream, so you guys can see. It doesn't always go to plan. Things happen. We have to change. We have to do different things when reloading. So I like to see that coming up, so that the new guys can see that it's not just simply get it done. We're going to load up all these bullets. Everything's been good. You come across issues, so that's great that we see that. G23 has joined us. Thanks for joining us, G. Sorry, we're just about to wrap it up, but you can always go back and check on it. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. Really appreciate it. We'll do it again next Monday. And I'm going to try keep posting these videos, and hopefully you'll enjoy them. So thanks, everybody, for joining me. Be safe, look after yourselves, and we will see you next time. Good night, everybody.